Welcome back to The Headline, roast your daily dose of democracy, drama, and deep-fried absurdity. It's Tuesday, April 15th, and if you're filing taxes today, congratulations. You're now poorer and smarter. We've got Obama defending Harvard, Sony jacking PlayStation prices, and Tom Hiddleston dancing his way through the apocalypse. So grab your refund, your rage, and your risotto ware, diving in. Subscribe now and join the roast fam. We roast the headlines so you can have fun when you commute or sound smart at brunch. Without doom-scrolling 5 papers or paying $8 for hot takes, new episodes every weekday and weekend. Store Y1. Obama defends Harvard as Trump freezes $2 billion in grants. Harvard just got ghosted by the U.S. government. The Trump administration froze $2 billion in federal grants, claiming the Ivy League giant is too woke for taxpayer money. In response, Obama came out swinging like it was election season. He called it an attack on academic freedom, while Trump said, "I'm just saving America from useless philosophers." Students are protesting with signs like "Defund Ignorance," and this campus is more audited than Congress. Meanwhile, Yale is side-eyeing Harvard like, "You okay, bro?" The move is polarizing. Is it budget policy? Revenge? Or just Trump remembering he didn't get into Harvard Law? Either way, the culture war just moved into the admissions office. Story 2. Tom Hiddleston dances through the apocalypse in new Stephen King flick. Tom Hiddleston is going viral, and this time, it's not for wearing a suit. In The Life of Chuck, based on a Stephen King novella, he breaks into a 7-minute dance in the middle of a sci-fi breakdown. Critics say the scene is haunting and poetic. Twitter says, "I didn't know grief could moonwalk." Co-star Annalise Basso joins him in what looks like interpretive therapy meets Inception. Director Mike Flanagan says it's a love letter to life. We say it's the most beautiful existential crisis set to music this year. Also, King fans are confused but emotionally wrecked, so mission accomplished. Story 3. Matteo Lane's new cookbook is roasting your pasta choices. Comedian Matteo Lane just dropped Your Pasta Sucks, a cookbook that's part recipe guide, part culinary insult comedy. His main message? Your noodles are sad, your sauces are shameful, and you need to do better. It's filled with wisdom like, pasta water is liquid gold, don't break the spaghetti. And your cheese doesn't belong in a blender, Susan? Matteo's also releasing the Al Dente Special, a comedy show about carbs, childhood, and culinary redemption. Some call it hilarious. Italians call it justice. Story 4. MTG Town Hall turns into Protest Palooza. Marjorie Taylor Greene tried to host a town hall in Cobb County, Georgia. Instead, she got flash mobs, hecklers, and 3 arrests. At one point, someone yelled, "Read the Constitution." While wearing a Constitution as a cape, Greene called it a threat to democracy. Protesters called it Tuesday. She attempted to pivot to school funding, but was drowned out by chants of "No more Q in my policy." The night ended with more questions than answers, and a GoPro live stream that got 40,000 views. It's unclear who won, but democracy sure had a weird night out. Story 5. NATO boss makes surprise visit to Ukraine. NATO's new chief Mark Rutte just pulled up in Odessa, Ukraine, to say "we see you," and also, "knock it off, Russia." It follows a deadly missile strike in Sumy and growing international tension. Rutte walked through rubble like a Bond villain with good intentions. Zelensky called the visit timely. Putin called it provocative. And NATO called it a message. No missiles were exchanged, but eyebrows definitely were. Story 6. Success sequence. Curriculum hits U.S. schools, sparks debate. Some U.S. states want to teach kids how not to be poor. The checklist called the success sequence: graduate high school, get a full-time job, then only then get married and have kids. Supporters say it's statistically sound. Critics say it's tone-deaf and ignores systemic inequality. One teacher called it bootstraps, but in PowerPoint. Another said, "Cool idea. How can we get lunch money for our students?" Coming soon to a civics class near you, economic life coaching with a syllabus. Story 7. Boeing gets burned as China halts U.S. jet orders. Boeing stock fell harder than your New Year's resolution today. After China told its airlines to stop buying U.S. jets and parts, citing high prices caused by, you guessed it, tariffs. It's Retaliation 101. America throws tariffs, China cuts contracts. Boeing loses billions, and TikTok keeps filming it in slow motion. Executives are scrambling to patch up relations. Meanwhile, Air France just quietly moved up their upgrade plans. One economist said, "We're playing economic chicken with a 747. Another said, "You can't fly through a trade war. Lesson here. Turbulence isn't just in the skies anymore." Story 8. Kīlauea acts up again. Lava back on the menu. Hawaii's Kīlauea volcano is bubbling again, with glowing lava, glowing headlines, and glowing tourist selfies. The U.S. Geological Survey launched drone flights to monitor the eruption at Halema-Umayu crater. No evacuations yet, but emergency teams are watching it closely. Scientists are thrilled. Influencers are thrilled. Locals are like, "We've seen better eruptions." One geologist said it's moderate but significant, which is academic speak for it's not dramatic, but don't touch it. Still safer than Twitter. Story 9. Paige Buchers goes #1 in WNBA draft, steals the show. Paige Buchers is now officially the #1 pick in the 2025 WNBA draft. She walked the red carpet, hit the stage, and immediately broke the internet. ESPN called it a historic moment.
Ow!
Twitter called it a serve. She's got talent, charisma, and more endorsement deals than most sitcoms. The crowd loved her speech. Her shoes trended faster than Bitcoin. This isn't just a draft, it's a branding event. And yes, your March Madness bracket is still crying. Story 10. PlayStation prices jump 25%. Gamers riot in memes. Sony just dropped the bomb. PlayStation consoles are now 25% more expensive. Why? Tariffs. Again, gamers are furious. Reddit is mourning, and moms across America are saying, "What's a tariff?" The PS5 now costs more than a small vacation or a large therapy session. Sony says they had no choice. Scalpers say, "Thank you for the bonus round." The console wars have entered a new era. Not of graphics, but of bank accounts. Brain teaser time. Yesterday's answer. Q. What word becomes longer when you remove a letter from it? A. Short. Remove a letter, and it becomes shorter. Yes, English is still unwell. Today's brain teaser. What comes at the beginning of everything, the end of everywhere, but appears in nothing at all? Hint. It's alphabetical. It's abstract. It won't help your taxes. That's your April 15th headline roast. Like, comment, and subscribe before Sony sells the like button for 25% more. New episodes every weekday and weekend. Because the headlines don't rest, but your sanity deserves some sass. See you tomorrow, Roast Fam.